Nick, you're stupid.
Counting out these racks, money so long. I told her goodbye.
YouTube, what the hell is going on today? How you doing? I hope everybody's well. And shout out to my 3 subscribers. I got 3 subscribers. Y'all don't know, y'all made my day. Y'all made my day. But anyway, we're gonna react to 3 cent word that made Lil Jon 33.3 million. Yeah, what? And okay. That's all we know. But he goddamn hyping that shit up. So we gonna hop to the video, see what Lil Jon, what he talking about with Lil Jon.
His most successful song of all time, he says 12 words total. In his second most successful song of all time, he says just 19 unique words. But truthfully, most people would associate him with the 3 most basic words in the English language.
Yeah! What?
Okay!
Now, people often criticize rappers for having small vocabularies on the basis that less words.
It's so crazy. Like, I remember I used to listen to like two-minute songs. They call them fucking snippets. Like 2-minute songs, them be the hardest songs ever. The 2-minute song. I remember, I'm kind of old school, but anyway, I used to listen to, I still do listen to like old music. The song be like 10 goddamn minutes. That shit be super long. I used to listen to songs at work just to fly by. I used to work at Amazon. I used to listen to songs to fly by the time. I think Cause I Love You like fucking 8 minutes by Lenny Williams. Oh my god, that shit like 8 fucking minutes. I used to listen to that shit. I know 8 minutes went by. But anyway, now it's like, I think when I was coming up, it was about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Them are good songs. Now it's like, shit, you get you a good 2, right at the 3-minute mark. Oh yeah, you got you a banger. And ain't nobody listen to the whole song. They listen to the ad lib.
Equals less talent, but Lil Jon isn't a rapper, and some would argue that being able to build a legacy as iconic as his on such few words is actually more difficult, especially when you consider he kinda did this all by accident. Stay hydrated. Lil Jon is known for his energy, hype, and love for partying, with iconic lines like, if you ain't getting drunk, get the fuck out the club. He carried that same energy throughout his early years. In high school, he loved rock music, spending his weekends in mosh pits at Agent Orange shows. And considering his love for partying, what's more important to a party than a DJ? At age 16, Lil Jon taught himself how to DJ in his parents' basement. They used to let him throw his own parties under their supervision rather than let him be in the streets somewhere. And that proved to be the right decision, because as Lil Jon got into his 20s, his skills would impress someone who would change his life forever. Jon landed a regular DJ gig at Club Phoenix in downtown Atlanta. It was at Club Phoenix where he was scouted by rapper, producer, and executive Jermaine Dupri. Although Dupri was impressed by his DJing, he actually wanted him to be an A&R. When it came to A&R, all I could think about was Lil Jon, because he was the person in the clubs. He knew people. DJs knew him. I had to hire him. An A&R's job is essentially to recruit and discover talent for the labels to sign. But So So Def was not even close to a well-established label, and Lil Jon didn't see this as a promising career path. He actually was considering enrolling in Georgia State University, and even took some courses at Fort McPherson through Georgia Military College. But Dupri greenlit an album for $100,000 and gave Lil Jon full creative control, so a music career was on the horizon. With that money, Lil Jon linked with some of the best producers, DJs, and artists in the underground Atlanta scene to create the So So Def Bass All-Stars album. As you can imagine, it was an album full of dancey fun bangers, perfect for the club. You probably recognize track 2. My Boo by Ghost Town DJs became known for the Running Man Challenge, a viral dance that absolutely dominated the internet in 2016, bringing it to number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100 20 years later. Lil Jon produced that song 2 decades earlier. However, in 1996, the album was also pretty popular. It climbed to the 9th spot on the R&B and hip-hop chart, solidifying Lil Jon's presence and influence in the music industry. Jon was known all around the country for turning up clubs with the songs he produced. Now it was time for him
in 2000, he was going crazy.
Lil Jon and the East Side Boys was formed, with him and his 2 childhood friends, Big Sam and Lil Bo. We'd be the rowdy crowd in the club. So Lil Jon told me and Bo we were going to do a song, Who You With. I was like, okay, we'll do a song and that'll be it. And a couple weeks later they came back and said, we want you guys to do an album. So we did an album. I don't know why he chose us, I'm just glad he did. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys put out their first record independently, starting with Get Crunk, Who You With, the album, in 1997. The album was jam-packed
Man, look
with
at that
records that
album.
talked about shaking ass and getting lit, complemented by production containing simple synth melodies, repetitive claps,
Bro,
and
you know
lots
what's
of
crazy? I haven't seen an album cover in so goddamn long. Bro, I used to go to the store just look at the album covers. I haven't seen an album cover in years. Do they even do that anymore? They even do like real album covers, like not the bullshit with like fucking Drake did, had a bunch of emoji babies and shit. Do they even have Drake used to have? They were decent. Take Care album covers decent. Who used to have some real fire? Gucci Man used to have some fire album covers. Like that shit used to be fire.
bass. They ended up selling 100,000 singles and 40,000 albums on their own. They had the underground in a chokehold because their records were fun. They reduced the idea of having intricate verses to fun chants that everyone in the club would memorize before the song was over. Put Yo Hood Up, Move Bitch, and Bia Bia were perfect examples of this.
Bia Bia, stop acting like a hoe and put a mother.
Now,
But even still,
Stop
by this
acting
point,
like a hoe
Lil
and
Jon
put 'em
never
up.
considered himself a rapper, which is ironic because this was arguably the most rapping he ever did, and would ever
Stop
do in his
acting like
career.
a
Crunk
put 'em
music was
up.
about a hot beat, a hot hook, and something people could chant along with. Crunk is best defined as a fusion of Miami bass and Memphis Buck
Hey.
roughneck chants backed with 808 beats and humming bass. Lil Jon was able to fuse the energy of bass music with street rap and came up with Crunk. But most of us were introduced to Lil Jon in 2002 with the track Get Low alongside the Yin Yang.
Hey, let me tell you some stupid shit I just did. This cup is a fucking. This is a sipping cup and a straw. Hey, somebody bought me this. This shit is fire. I'm saying no. I'm like, why the fuck am I drinking this shit? And it's that is fire.
Twins on the album Kings of Crunk. In the early 2000s, the music video was more important than ever. Many of you probably remember the days of turning on MTV and just seeing what new songs would pop up. The video for Get Low
Definitely
showed
remember
Lil Jon's
that.
over-the-top outfit, cane, and signature iced out cup full of who knows what. This video sent the song all the way to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Lil Jon became the most requested artist.
Definitely
for radio.
remember running home and going to see BET in the basement with Trigger. And did BET come? Do you think? If I remember right, BET came on right at either 5 or 3. It was one of them. But I definitely used to love that one. Yeah, exactly. When they had them big ass chains be fucking bigger than your chest. Them hoes used to be big as fuck for no goddamn reason. They used to read words. Now chains, lists hit that cost millions of dollars.
DJs, and since he was a DJ himself, they were more than happy to play his tracks. Shake That Monkey peaked at 84 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Shake That Monkey.
Salt Shaker peaked at number 9.
I know what Salt
Damn
Shaker
peaked
is.
at number 4, which was an anthem to taunt your ops in the club.
Pino. I wasn't thinking of that song. Don't be.
2003, Lil Jon was on fire, and everyone in the industry wanted him on their song if they wanted it to go crazy in the club. And Usher was the first artist to truly capitalize on that. At the time, Usher was an R&B sensation who had slow and sensual songs
back,
topping the
rewind
charts,
back.
but he wasn't
Lil Jon,
exactly
back.
being played in the
Back to
clubs. Lil Jon was about to change that when they linked up and made a song called Yeah, with the hook focusing on one of Jon's iconic ad-libs repeating 12 times. But they needed a rapper to certify this as a club smash,
Ludacris.
so they sent it over to Ludacris.
Lil Jon sent me the record, you know, with Usher's lyrics on there. Another record instantly, as soon as I heard it, I was in my house in Atlanta. Instantly, I was like, this shit is out of here. It took me no time to write my verse for it.
I'm glad he did.
And I was like,
glad he
this
got
is
on
such
there.
a smash, I gotta be on more than just a verse.
Yeah spent an astonishing 12 weeks at the number
Yeah.
1 spot on the
And Ryan
Billboard
at that.
Hot 100.
Lil Jon
Yeah
got
is a
the
true
music go,
anthem of
hey,
the early
hey,
2000s
hey.
and at every awkward middle school dance. It was on every list of the top songs of the decade
still
and
play
is
it.
easily one of the most iconic hip-hop club records of all time. From there, he had even more Billboard success with songs named after his ad-libs, Let's Go and OK. He also had Kulo with Pitbull, Lovers and Friends, and What
Love
You Gonna Do.
Friends.
Whether it was a song to get the gangsters hype or the ladies to dance, Lil Jon had the music industry in the palm of his hands. But it wasn't technically his music that solidified Lil Jon as a cultural phenomenon. It was Dave Chappelle. On Season 2, Episode 6 of The Chappelle Show, Dave premiered a skit called A Moment in the Life of
Oh
Lil Jon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What? I remember that.
Possession the whole time?
What?
What?
I'll never forget the morning after this episode
Yeah,
aired. It seemed like
and I
everyone
remember
in my
that shit.
school was mimicking this skit, yelling what, yeah, and okay. Because of Dave Chappelle, people who had no idea who Lil Jon was knew him as the guy who said what, yeah, and okay. A moment in the life of Lil Jon became a go-to recurring bit
That
of
shit
Dave's
is
show.
funny.
He reimagined the skit in season
What?
2, episode 7 and episode 13 alongside the real Lil Jon. Keep in mind, the Chappelle Show averaged 3.1 million viewers
Damn,
per
that's
episode
crazy.
in 2004, just shy of Saturday Night Live's 3.7 million. But his cultural impact reached far and beyond that. At
Once
the
he
time,
did that
Dave
Prince shit.
Chappelle was comedy. Whatever he thought was funny, America thought was funny. And Lil Jon was one of the most successful bits he ever did. John even says Dave changed his life.
I was talking about it to him that night. You know, every time I see him, I tell him, you know, like that night, I was like, you ruined my life.
Now, the reason why Lil Jon jokingly says Dave ruined his life is because of, well, this.
What? Nigga, you sound like a bird. It's like, what? Nigga, you sound like a fucking dying bird.
Is there anything that you say that you get so annoyed with that fans?
She walk up to that nigga, what?
What?
Yeah.
What is the most annoying ever?
Lil Jon was
That ain't work. I'm quite sure Stone Cold get the same thing. When people see Stone Cold, that's all they probably, what? What about LA Knight? Yeah. Shit, I know niggas get annoyed. Because everywhere you go, niggas probably screaming that shit.
kind of turned into a meme, which definitely helped his brand recognition, but was likely very annoying over the years to have random people shout at you obnoxiously
telling
when you're
you.
at the airport or dinner with your family. To make things even worse, the crunk era was dying quickly. For the next few years, Lil Jon had some popular songs in rotation, such as Girl Fight, Snap Your Fingers, and Go
Snap
to
Your
Church.
Fingers.
Although the songs
Snap
made
Your
during
Fingers
the
a good song.
snap/crunk era are nostalgic to look back on, the subgenre was very one-dimensional, and it's honestly surprising how long it remained popular. Songs were repetitive, with basic call and
Snap your
response
fingers.
chants, the beats all
Do
started to sound the
yourself.
same, and artists
Do
lacked
it
the
all
versatility
by
necessary to
yourself.
maintain a
You
fan
do.
base. And although Lil Jon was a
Hey,
pioneer of the
hey,
genre, he needed
hey.
to pivot or he would get left behind. Since
doing
Jon
that
was a
shit the
producer,
way.
he was able to stay in the mix with people who were pushing the next sound. And as we approach the 2010s, we got this new wave of feel-good rap, pop, dance, and cheesy electronic
I
sounds
remember that
coming
shit
from
right
the
there.
likes of Flo Rida, Pitbull, and LMFAO.
Oh, okay.
These iconic songs became timeless wedding and prom bangers, and Lil Jon's iconic ad-libs and hype energy fit right into these tunes. Crazy, the anthem, Do You Remember? And you can't forget the legendary Shots. I bet most of you watching
Shot,
remember
shot,
Lil Jon
shot,
from this
shot,
era of his
shot, shot,
career.
shot.
And if you think the crunk era went fast, these came and went even faster. One homecoming, one prom, and a wedding, and you never want to hear Pitbull ever again. Music was changing faster than ever as we approached the internet age. As we passed 2010, EDM
Music now
festivals
going
started
slow as
becoming
hell.
bigger and bigger. EDM DJs were often playing Lil Jon and Pitbull's songs Crazy and the Anthem. You also have to remember Lil Jon at his core is a DJ, so he was very curious to enter the new wave of open format DJs, which is basically just a DJ who plays any and all genres rather than just
Shaq
sticking
was
to
doing that
one.
shit.
In 2011, he collaborated with Laidback Luke and Steve Aoki on the track Turbulence, which was a huge anthem that year. He started going to massive festivals and performing alongside the DJs he knew. Plus, many upcoming EDM producers in all subgenres, from dubstep to dirty Dutch house to EDM trap, would often sample Lil Jon. His three iconic ad-libs were the perfect vocal chops to complement the energy that these EDM subgenres displayed. Or people often use this vocal shot from the song I'm the Ish by DJ Class.
Put your fucking hands up!
I don't know what that is.
This was the go-to sample right before the beat drop in like 50% of EDM songs that
Oh,
year.
okay.
But the
That's
one
why.
EDM track that changed his life was one sent over from DJ Snake. Snake sent Lil Jon a track that had a sample from Redman that said,
This the countdown, bang the underground.
he wanted Lil Jon to just re-say this phrase, but Jon didn't think the sample fit the energy of the track. On his first listen, he just blurted out, "Turn down for what?" And knew
Turn
it was a
down for
smash.
what?
Only Lil Jon can say 4 words into a mic and know that it's going to be a hit record. He added 8 more words that most of you probably don't even care about. Fire up that loud, another round of shots. But DJ Snake didn't like it. Jon asked Snake to just trust him. They started playing the song at their DJ sets, and the crowd will go nuts.
It was one of the few records I've ever had that when I played it in my sets, every time another DJ came up to me like, yo,
Begging.
what is that?
Yes,
Let me
begging.
get that. Let me get that.
Begging.
This song's popularity was also accelerated
That
by
was
Vine
a,
users, with
Vine,
the
yeah.
First Lady even making a video to it.
Turn up for what?
10 years after his first
Hey.
#1 song with Usher, Lil Jon
Take it or
went
leave
#1
it. I
on the
love it.
Billboard Hot Dance and Electronic chart
Michelle
for
Obama turned up
12
your
weeks,
shit. Hell
1
yeah.
week for every word he said on the song. Lil Jon was already an icon in hip-hop. This record made him an icon in EDM, and these days he has a much bigger presence there than in hip-hop. EDM DJs will send him a record to scream one of his iconic phrases before the drop, and he takes 50% of the revenue for the song. And he deserves it, because a Lil Jon sample will always get people rowdy.
I'm telling you.
Unpredictable. He's become a big fan of the side quest. He has a successful TV show on HGTV, where he showcased his unique vision and design expertise, surprising the world with his eye for interior aesthetics. He created his own wine label, Little Jonathan Winery, that reflects his unique style and brought a touch of sophistication to his brand.
I wonder
You
how
might
that
even catch
tastes.
him lecturing at prestigious universities such as Oxford. In music, the less words Lil
Hey.
Jon said, the more successful he was,
I'm
and he
telling
secured
you.
a well-deserved legacy from that. But these days, he's got a lot more to say, and we owe it to him to listen.
They gonna say that at my funeral. They gonna be like, he was a good man. Yeah! I said he was a good man. What? Man, he rests in peace.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good video. I like that video. Lil Jon is definitely an icon in the black community, white community. Whatever club you go to, you definitely gonna hear that do turn down for it, and everybody gonna go crazy. Yeah, in the club. But yeah, Lil Jon will always be them 3 words. People still listen to them songs today. Get crunk and all them. So Lil Jon, hey, hope he doing well. Shout out to him, whatever he at, whatever he doing. But anyway, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace. Damn it, what you talking about? What you talking about, damn? Is she asleep? Oh, she sleep. My baby sleep. I don't know what's going on. All right, peace.